Hello everybody, this is Refresh and I am here to bring you a battle between the two Innistrad Midnight Hunt Seal decks and the Defeated God Challenge deck from Journey into Nyx. I have videos of the building of each of these decks linked in the description box below, so head on down there to see what they are. But on the left we have the Izzet deck, on the right we have a Simic deck. We'll be playing two games, first on normal difficulty against 3 Rollicking Throngs and then on hard mode. And for these games we're going to be using 3 hero cards. We have the Harvester, which says tap, draw a card, then discard a card. The Explorer, which says you may play an additional land on each of your turns. And the Vanquisher, which says your starting hand size is increased by 1, your maximum hand size is increased by 1. Because I only have 1 copy of each of the cards, we're going to apply to all 3 cards to both decks simultaneously. Go ahead and get started by drawing our opening hands. Izzet draws a Purifying Dragon, Island, Fangblade Brigand, Moonrager Slash, Grafted Identity, Stormrider Spirit, Revenge of the Drowned, and Covetous Castaway. Can't really keep a one-lander, so we're going to mulligan this. Because it's a multiplayer, we get 1 free mulligan. In this mulligan we get a Mountains, Unblinking Observer, Revenge of the Drowned, Island, Arcane Infusion, Fading Hope, Mountain, and Storm Skrillex. This is a reasonable first hand, so we'll keep it. Simic gets a Candlelit Cavalry, Otherworld Gaze, Forest, Gale Drifter, Clear Shot, Consider, Forest, and Island. I think this is also a reasonable first hand, so we will keep that too. Because the multiplayer will also draw for our opening turn. Izzet draws an Island. Simic draws a Forest. She'll play the Forest and the Island over here, and the Mountain and the Island over here. We'll tap these 2 over here to cast the Unblinking Observer. This is a 2/1 Homunculus. You have to add blue and spend this mana only to pay a disturb cost or cast an instant or sorcery spell. From here we're going to pass to Xenagos. Xenagos will cast the top 2 cards. The first one is an Ecstatic Piper. It's a 2/2 Satyr Reveler. When it enters the battlefield, Xenagos does 7 attacks this turn if able, and when it leaves the battlefield, each player gains 2 life. Then we have Ripped to Pieces. At the beginning of the combat this turn, each Reveler deals 1 damage to each player and each creature those players control. So our turn's beginning, we have 4 Revelers dealing 4 damage to each player. That's 8 damage to us. Plus Xenagos is attacking for another 6, so that is a total of 14 damage, taking us down to 6. And the Unblinking Observer also takes 4 damage and perishes. We will tap the Island over here to cast Otherworldly Gaze. This is an instant that says look at the top 3 cards of your library, put any number of them into your graveyard and the rest back on top of your library in any order. Flashback for 1 in blue. We have a Hound Tamer, a Geist Wave, and a Howl of the Hunt. I think we put the Howl of the Hunt in the graveyard, and the Geist Wave might be able to deal with some pretty strong threats here, so I think we're going to keep that on top. I think we don't need the Hound Tamer since we have 4-drop that we could play as well, so we'll put that in the yard as well. Then we'll use the Harvester. It draws an Island, and we will discard the Revenge of the Drowned. Simic draws a Geist Wave, and we will discard the Consider. It draws a Famished Foragers. Simic draws an Island. Simic will play the Island and the Forest. Izzet will play an Island and a Mountain. Can I cast the Storm Skrillex instead? So I think we're going to tap 4 and cast the Famished Foragers over here. Then over here, we'll spend 4 and we'll cast the Gale Drifters. Hopefully we will not die in the next turn. The Famished Foragers is a 4/3 vampire, and when it enters the battlefield, if an opponent lost life this turn, add red, red, red. And for 2 in a red, discard and then draw a card. And then the Gale Drifter is a 3/2 Hippogriff with flying and disturb 6 and blue. Pass to Xenagos. Xenagos casts an Ecstatic Piper and a Madden Oread. This is a 4/2 Enchantment Nymph Reveler. As long as there are 5 or more Revelers on the battlefield, Madden Oread attaches each turn if able. When it leaves the battlefield, each player gains 3 life. The Oread is attacking, and so is Xenagos. We cannot take a hit from Xenagos, nor can we take a hit from Oread, so I think we're just going to have to chomp and trade. And either creature does that effect pretty well, so we'll do the chomp and trade like this. The Famished Forager dies. The Gale Drifter trades for the Oread. The Oread will die. We'll gain 6 life and to go back up to 12. Then we'll use the Harvester. It draws a Covetous Castaway, and we will discard the Covetous Castaway. Simic draws an Eccentric Farmer, and we will discard the Eccentric Farmer. It draws an Island. Simic draws an island. We'll play the forest and the island over here. We'll play the 2 islands over here. We'll spend 5 mana over here to cast the Candlelit Cavalry. This is a 5/5 human knight. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, it gains trample until end of turn. Over here, we're going to spend 5 mana and cast the Storm Skrillex. This is a 2/4 Dracor with flying and instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it gets +2/+7 until end of turn. We'll pass to Xenagos. Xenagos casts a Xenagos Strike. It deals 4 damage to each player. So that's going to take us down to 4. I think we let this happen because we don't have anything to counteract it. And then Xenagos Scorn. Xenagos Ascended gains trample until end of turn and attacks this turn if able. So Xenagos is attacking. We can't take it without dying, but we can actually do something. And I think we're going to do it. After all, we're going to cast Fading Hope. This is an instant. It says return target creature to its owner's hand. If its mana value is 3 or less, scry 1. We're going to bounce one of the Ecstatic Pipers to gain 4. And so we'll only lose 2, bringing us down to 2. And then we'll scry. Is that we'll take a look at their Geist Wave. I think we're going to keep that. That's actually pretty useful. Then at the end of the turn, we're going to use Harvester. Draw that Geist Wave. Discard the Arcane Infusion. We'll draw a Snarling Wolf. And I think we're going to discard the Snarling Wolf. Is it draws a Mountain. Simic draws a Burly Breaker. I think we're going to hold the Mountain mostly because we need to be able to loot effectively here, and that's not going to happen if we don't hold the Mountain. I don't think there's any reason to cast Geist Wave right now, although we can get rid of a bunch of their creatures if we attack. So maybe that's what we're going to do. We'll go to combat, and the Skrillex will attack the Piper, and the Cavalry will attack one of the Rollicking Throngs. We get 4 life to go back up to 6. We'll spend 5 mana here to cast the Burly Breaker. This is a 6/5 human werewolf with ward 1 and day bound. So it is now day. And then if we need to, we can chump with that. Or Geist Wave things, we'll see. We'll pass to Xenagos. Xenagos draws an Ecstatic Piper. And then we'll draw a Xenagos Scorn. Xenagos is going to attack this turn. We will have to chump with the Burly Breaker, unfortunately. We're going to take 1, and we'll go down to 5. At the end of the turn, we'll use the Harvester. Is it draws a Baithook Angler, and we'll discard the Mountain. Simic draws an Island, and we'll discard the Island. I think we might have a shot here. Is it draws a Fangblade Brigand, and Simic draws an Island. I think we can actually wipe out Xenagos here. So to do that, we're going to have the Storm Skrillex attack the Ecstatic Piper, and the Candlelit Cavalry attack one of the Rollicking Throngs. Both of those perish. We'll get 4 life to go up to 9. And then we will spend 1 mana over here to cast Geist Wave. This is an instant return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If you control that permanent, draw a card. That's going to be the Rollicking Throng, which is returned. And then we'll spend 3 more mana here and cast Clear Shot. This is an instant. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. That's going to be Xenagos Ascended, which is a 6/5 legendary enchantment god. And it can't leave the battlefield as long as there's a Reveler on the battlefield. And when it leaves the battlefield, each player wins the game. And there are no defenses for it, so Xenagos Ascended is defeated. And the Innistrad Midnight Hunt Sealed decks defeat Xenagos on normal difficulty at a Knife's Edge. Ripped to Pieces is definitely one of the scariest cards that Xenagos can ever cast. So we're glad that we were able to survive that. We'll be right back for hard mode. It's time for hard mode. We have 4 Rollicking Throngs, and we will draw our opening hands. It draws a Mountain, a Grafted Identity, Geist Wave, Baithook Angler, Unblinking Observer, Island, Shipwreck Sifters, and an Island. I think this is an acceptable first hand. Simic draws a Forest, Revenge of the Drowned, Sludge Monster, Forest, Harvest-Tide Sentry, Island, and a Shadow Beast Sighting. It's not ideal, but I think we can make it work, so we'll keep that. Go ahead and get started. It draws an Arcane Infusion, Simic draws a Consider. We'll play an island and a forest over here. Tap these and cast the Harvest-Tide Sentry. This is a 3/1 human warrior at the beginning of combat on your turn. If you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, it can't be blocked by creatures of power 2 or less. And then over here we're going to play the mountain and the island. We're going to tap them both. We'll replay the Unblinking Observer. And then we'll pass to Xenagos. Xenagos casts a Xenagos' Strike. We're going to take 8 damage. Go down to 12. Then we're also going to get an Ecstatic Piper coming at us. Xenagos will attack. And again, take us down to 6. All in a day's work. And in the turn, we'll use the Harvester. Izzet draws a Purifying Dragon. We'll discard the Grafted Identity. Simic draws a Burly Breaker, and we will discard the Revenge of the Drowned. Izzet draws an island. Simic draws an island. Play the forest and the island. We'll play 2 islands over here. I think we're going to leave up some mana for a Geist Wave in case we need it. We'll spend 2 though to cast the Shipwreck Sifters. This is a 1/2 spirit, and when it enters the battlefield, draw a card, then discard a card. Whenever you discard a spirit card or a card with a disturb, get a +1/+1 counter on Shipwreck Sifters. We'll draw a mountain, and we'll discard the Baithook Angler. We'll put a counter on the Shipwreck Sifters. And then we will go to combat and swing with the Harvest-Tide Sentry into the Ecstatic Piper, so we can gain a little life. They'll trade. Go up to 10. And then we'll spend 4 over here. We cast the Shadow Beast Sighting. This is a sorcery, create a 4/4 beast creature token and flashback for 6 and green. Then we will pass to Xenagos. Xenagos casts Xenagos' Scorn and a Xenagos' Scorn. So Xenagos will be swinging this turn. I think this is okay for us to take because we will be bouncing some cards and doing some damage soon. So we'll take it and go to 4. Then we will spend 2 mana. Cast Geist Wave. We'll bounce one of the Rollicking Throngs. And at the end of the turn, we'll use the Harvester. It draws a mountain, and we will discard a mountain. Simic draws an island, and we will discard the Consider. It draws a Festival Crasher. Simic draws an island. Play the island in the forest over here. We'll play the mountain over here. Tap 5. Cast a Purifying Dragon. This is a 4/3 dragon with flying. When it attacks, it deals 1 damage to target creature defending player controls. If that creature is a zombie, it deals 2 damage instead. Then we'll spend 5. Cast the Burly Breaker again. And we'll send the Beast into one of the Rollicking Throngs. We don't have enough power to take down another Rollicking Throng. Actually, we do. So we will send these 2 into the other Rollicking Throng. That will defeat nothing. That will defeat the Observer. And then we don't have anything else we can do, so we'll pass the turn. Xenagos casts an Ecstatic Piper, and then an Ecstatic Piper. Xenagos is swinging, and we are going to block with the Putrefying Dragon. And then we'll use the Harvester. It draws a Covetous Castaway, and we'll discard that, which will put a counter on the Shipwrecked Sifters. Simic draws a Forest, and we will discard the Sludge Monster. It draws an island. Simic draws a forest. Play a forest and an island over here. I think we want to Arcane Infusion because we gotta see if we can get something a little better than what we have right now. So we'll cast this. Look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an instant or sorcery card from among them. Put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Flashback. 3 blue red. Right, we have an island, a Storm Rider Spirit, an island, and a Storm Skrillex. Unfortunately, there is nothing. We'll spend 2 more to cast the Festival Crasher. This is a 1/3 Devil, and whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. We'll hold this to loot with that, but I think we can swing with everything else. That should defeat the 2 Ecstatic Pipers plus the Rollicking Throng. We'll gain 8 life to go up to 12, and we'll pass to Xenagos. Xenagos casts an Ecstatic Piper. And then a Xenagos' Strike. We're taking 8 to go down to 4. Xenagos is swinging. And we will chump with the Festival Crasher. At the end of the turn, we'll use the Harvester. It draws an island. We'll discard an island. Simic draws a Hound Tamer. We will discard the forest. is it draws a Moonrager Slash, and Simic draws an island. I think we got this now. So we'll spend 3 mana to cast the Moonrager Slash. This is an instant. It costs 2 less to cast if it's night. It deals 3 damage to any target. We'll deal 3 to the Exotic Piper. Exotic Piper goes down and we'll gain 4 life to go up to 8. And then we will go to combat and attack Xenagos with the Burly Breaker to defeat Xenagos in trades. And we will defeat Xenagos on hard mode with only breaking a little sweat. And so that is going to be it for me with these Innistrad sealed decks. Let me know what your thoughts about the games were in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more of my videos, you can hit subscribe. This is Refresh. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.